Hey y'all, that old dot there, that ain't no street light. That's a pretty orange East Texas sun after doing its job for the day. If I can zoom back out here, I guess it won't let me. Don't want to do all that. We're gonna try to get it right. Sissy, what do you think about that? We done got a close up and we didn't want it. How are y'all this evening? I've learned that I can't roller skate in a buffalo herd. Old song by Roger Miller about 1965. Learned something else too. You can't grow peas on this patch in 2021. As hard as we've tried replanting and working the land out of an acre and a lot of good intentions, we got one cantaloupe out of the lot. But boy, it tasted good. No, we got the pasture mowed down. It's that time of year to move forward. Hated to mow them old peat plants down, but they wasn't going to do anything. Weeds were as high as my head. And for some of y'all, that ain't saying much, but it was enough for me. The predators were starting to move in on the chickens, and Sissy was having a time trying to keep up with it. So we knocked it down, and I guess the turkey liked it. Sissy sure did. Getting ready for future plans. As y'all can see, we've got some rows tilled and some planning coming up for an orchard of sorts. We'll be sharing that journey on the YouTube channel. Pretty excited about that. We've got a shop down there full of cuttings that are rooting and doing well. And I think I'm overloaded with info on that project, if that can be done. But it's going to be a good thing for sure. Been a while since we've been on. Just busy around the place. No real reason. Just doing life, if we would. But thought I'd jump on here this evening. It's Tuesday. And not a whole lot goes on Tuesday. Monday's behind us, and we're not close enough to the weekend to think about it. Some of you are. But everything's peaceful and good here on the old place. Thought about the despair, and I faced a little bit of it. We all go through it. I don't know if it was despair. That's a pretty harsh word. But sure was hoping to pick some peas after all the work put in. But it just wasn't going to happen this year. So we back up and running at it again. I know we've all had a break from all the mess of COVID for a little while, and it seems to be spiking again, or at least that's what the numbers say. But shoot, we've been through worse, hadn't we? I think politics, I won't get into it, but heard a quote said politics is a lot like medicine. You need a little bit of it just to kind of keep on top of things, but you can overdose on it real quick. I think a lot of folks have. Fear is, I don't like it. I do not like it. It's a lot of fear mongering amongst us these days. Stuff our forefathers would have taken in stride and done their due diligence, but kept on living life. Good buddy of mine at Homer at church, good friend. He teaches the youth class, and we were sitting in the sound booth the other evening. He whispered something to me, and I said, man, that's pretty good stuff. I think it's in Romans 10 that says, y'all will know this verse. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word of God. But he said, I'm going to put one on that. Fear does the same thing, but not from the word of God. I was like, boy, that's pretty good stuff. Fear does come by hearing. I think we kind of get into a situation where we, like old Henny Penny, that little childhood story, the sky's falling and we just buckle down and that's it. Reminds me of an old adage. I remember this so well about attitude and direction. Old man had sold produce and goods by the side of the road for years and years and supported his family. In fact, he did so well that he was able to send his son to college. His son went off to college, and I guess it was a couple of years into it. He come home and visited with his dad. Dad was busy getting ready to sell that day. He said, "Dad, there's no reason to go out there and sell any produce today." He's like, "Why is that, son?" He said, "Well, I learned that we're in a recession. Things are bad. People ain't going to buy. They're holding their money, and they ain't even going to shop." He said, "Really? I didn't even hear about that." He said, "Yeah, that's what's going on." So his dad cut back on his orders and scaled back his hours and kind of went half tilt on it. Well, sure enough, he didn't make as much money, so he scaled it back again. In fact, he was closed 2 days of the week and was out of supplies most of the time because he was scared to buy them because he didn't think they'd sell. That went on for about a month, and sure enough, he didn't have any customers. He was down to 1 day a week and no goods. He called his son and said, "Man, son, I'm glad you told me that. Goodness, we are in a recession. If we just kind of be smart and keep doing what we're doing and live life amidst the problems, I think we'll be okay, won't we?" Another old boy was in the airport about to go on a flight. He hated flying, hated it. I'm talking about hated it, but had to do it. Plane was getting there a little late. Thunderstorms were coming together, and they would delay the flight, and he was sitting there all just nervous in the terminal there where he was about to board his flight. And he passed by, as he was walking to the restroom, he passed by a vending machine of all things that was selling $100,000 life insurance policies for $3 for that flight in the event that something would happen. We looked at it, and he thought about his family at home and thought about them gray skies and his fear of flying. And he said, "You know what? $3 ain't a bad investment on that deal." So he bought his little policy and had a little time because the plane was delayed. Decided to sit down and eat some food. With the wide assortment available in the airport, he decided on Chinese. Sat down, had him a good meal, and opened up his fortune cookie, and he didn't like what he read. He said, poor little old fortune said, "Your recent investment will pay large dividends today." No, I'm not being cavalier about it. It's about prudence. But my goodness, folks, we got to pull ourselves up by our bootstraps, not worry about the peas not making, find a new plan, learn how to adapt. That's how we get along, isn't it? I think being an encourager is important, really important. One of the orators of the 20th century, William Arthur Ward, if I can get it right, he had a lot of quotes. One of them that really impacts me is the one that says, "Flatter me, I may not believe you. Criticize me, I may not like you. Put me down, and I may ignore you. But if you encourage me, I won't forget you." I think the world needs more encouragers these days. We're doing an elderberry orchard. It's going to take a couple of years to come on, and I need to refine some things in that process. So elderberries are ready to be picked at this time of the year. Says she's ready to go in the house, so she ain't leaving me. She's like, "Well, Dad goes for that door, I'm going in." But anyway, there's a pretty good bit of elderberries growing wild around the Nacogdoches greater area. And I was going down one area that I had marked and was harvesting some, and parked the car on the side of the road, had the hazards on, and I was in some thick weeds. And I'm not scary like that. Now, my Aunt Pat up in Pennsylvania would not have been where I was at due to her fear of snakes. But Didn't see any, got in, got out, but as I was harvesting some of those elderberries on that railroad track, a car pulled over. Now granted, several big work trucks had passed by, several small cars, SUVs. I had my hazards on, I was off the road. But one gentleman pulled over, and I was out there with my bucket getting a few elderberries to do some practice tests on some recipes that I've got. But he rolled down his window. We weren't the same color. Not that that matters, even though everybody likes to make it about that. He just wanted to know that I was all right and didn't need any help. That's what it's about, folks. Encouragement. Just checking on folks. It's okay to be kind. Of course, I assured him that I was just picking berries. He looked at me like I was crazy, which I probably am, and went on about his way. But that's what it's about. Lifting the next one up. I was out with my wildflower a couple of weekends ago on a little trip for a sales award that she had won at her company. And beautiful place, Marble Falls. And we decided to stop in there at Blue Bonnet Cafe and have breakfast. Good stuff. Y'all got to go there if you're able out that way. But in line, it's always a little bit of a long one, although it moves fast. I got behind a pretty big guy, and that don't take much for me to say because I ain't that big. But it just struck me, the back of his t-shirt. It was a black t-shirt and simply said veteran, noun. It said a person that writes a blank check to the citizens of the United States of America for their freedom, payable in the amount of and up to their own life. Man, that impacted me. I had to snap a picture of it, and he don't even know it. If I'd had the funds, I'd have bought their breakfast, but wasn't able to do that. But boy, that sums it up. I think we're all veterans in our own right as humans and members of the human race. We need to start doing that a little bit better. Maybe turn off the news. Get focused on just a little acre we're on, or quarter acre, whatever it may be, and encourage. Make a difference. A lot of folks hurting out there. Not very many can do a lot, but a lot of us can do a little. So we start there, right? Let me do a quick roll call if I can. I done rambled enough that Sons gave up, went behind them pine trees. And Sissy is ready to get some AC. She's been on patrol, the goats are up, chickens and turkeys are making their way into their roost. And she said, Dad, my job's done for the day. Had old horse come by earlier. That's how it is here in Nacogdoches. Her and I were sitting on the porch, and she don't like anything different. And I heard it clopping up the road. She perked up, and she was looking at it, looking at me, and I'm like, no, it's okay. It's all right. So she stayed in her post, and I know that rider was very thankful that Sissy didn't run out to the road and let that horse know that she was here. But you ready to go in the house, girl? You better get them fleas off of you before we go in there. That's right. Well, she got to go check on her little kitty cat, her little baby. I can tell you one thing, watching that cat will tear up her paws and tail, and Sissy will just take it. That's part of the job. She is ready to go in the house, y'all. Look at this. Hang on, let me turn it around. You ready to go in? Huh? Yes, you are. Well, I got to see who all's on here real quick, and then we'll let you go in. How's that? Okay? Come on back out here. She said, nope, because you'll slip in the back door, and I won't get to go in. All right, let's see who all's on here, and we'll call it a night if I can find these comments. Well, it ain't showing me, but I'll find them here in a second. Let's see. This needs to go on the blooper reel, doesn't it? Well, my goodness. I know y'all are in here, but I just can't see it. Swipe left. I'm trying. I think my phone's got the Rona. Oh well. All right, I'm sorry, y'all. It ain't gonna show them to me tonight. Oh wait, there it is. Let's try it. Nope. Still didn't do it. See, that's what I get for not being on here in so long. My phone done got stove up on me. But y'all think about being an encourager this week. It'll matter. It really will. Just like to the old kid that went shopping for his mama. And he walked out the store and dropped his bill of groceries. That's what they used to call it. My mom used to say that. They'd go downtown to Brookshire Brothers and give me a bill of groceries. That meant buying the staples. But he did. He dropped and spilled all of his contents of his bag. Didn't have no money left. And of course, the eggs broke all over the sidewalk, and everybody was sorry it happened and gathering them up, trying to clean up the mess. And poor old boy was crying. Everybody was sorry. But one man stepped up and said, "You know what? I feel bad for this boy, and I'm 25 cents sorry toward his next dozen of eggs. Who else will join with me with their own 25 cents to get the replacement?" It's easy to say and like and share on Facebook, but what are you doing behind the scenes to help the next door neighbor? Maybe carry a pail of water if he needs it. So that's what's on my mind this week. Encouragement, because we need it. Sure do. All right, Sissy, I can't do the roll call. Nope, you don't get to say hi to nobody. Well, okay, you're going to do that? All right, so there's your hi from Sissy, whoever's watching. You are ready to go in, ain't you, girl? Yes, you are. Okay, well, we're going to go inside the house. She is ready to get cooled off. All right, sweetheart, let's go. You done ripped my shirt, but that's okay. It's all right. Y'all have a good evening, and if you want to click over to the YouTube channel along the way, we'll be updating on the elderberry orchard project. I'll give you a little sneak peek real quick. She's going to the back door now. She ain't gonna let me get inside without her going with me. But we are in full swing for that project. So all those are rooting. Those have rooted, and we'll be sticking them in the ground. Looking at about 600 plants by the time we're done, and excited about that opportunity and that journey. My wildflower is as well, and y'all have to check that out along the way. I'm gonna try one more time on these comments. Nope, ain't gonna happen. Sorry, y'all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for following along, and we'll check in again. Be the light. You ready, sissy? Let's go on in. Come on.